And a good morning. 10:03 here on this Friday morning. Mark Malusis, Keith Arizari. It's Moose and Keith with you. On this Friday, we got you for the next couple hours, right up until high noon. Dave Sharapan will join us a little bit later on the program. We'll run through some of the week one matchup betting lines are already out. NFL schedule release yesterday. Obviously, Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll get into that. A little baseball as well. And got all the NBA playoffs. Good morning, Keith. How you doing, bud?
Oh, there we go.
You got to
You got
turn
me
your
now?
microphone on.
You got me
Yes.
now?
Yes,
Listen, it's
sir.
been one of those mornings on every facet of everything. It's been great.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No, not beautiful, but hey, we'll make do. We'll get going, right? All right. 3, 2, 1. Now we go live. I'm just kidding.
There you go. Well, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We got a lot to get into. I guess the number of ways you can go and number of ways that you can start when you're looking at the NBA last night, reacting to. I think really the once again the stunning nature to which the Phoenix Suns pulled an absolute no-show. I know no DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul obviously out with the groin injury, but to have that game be an absolute bloodletting once again for a second consecutive year. Devin Booker, shame on him, not meet with the media after the game. Kevin Durant at least was open and honest, even though he has little to no leadership qualities whatsoever. He talked about it was an embarrassing performance. Jokic does his thing, has a triple-double. Jamal Murray was sick as a dog. He arrived at the arena an hour before tip, ate, and slept throughout the course of the day, and he went out and showed out. And the Denver Nuggets, a team that nobody wanted to pick, in the Western Conference before these playoffs started. Everyone wanted to pick whether it be, your Lakers or whether it be the Suns or whether it be the Clippers or the Golden State Warriors. I mean, you run up and down the line. Nobody wanted to give the respect to the Denver Nuggets after what they did during the course of the regular season. And they didn't just, rout the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they took Matt Ishbia's team and took their souls last night in Phoenix. They're getting booed off the court at halftime. And the Denver Nuggets went out and they wanted to end it last night, and boy, and I loved them yesterday. I told you that, and
Yeah, you
boy,
did.
did they end it last night. And it was as easy a win in an elimination game as you could ever see, outside of what we saw last year with what Dallas did to Phoenix as well. Now that's become a characteristic trait for the Phoenix Suns, these no-shows that they pull in these elimination games when they're facing elimination. Once again, just like last year, they pulled an absolute no-show.
Moose, it's absolutely embarrassing. You can lose a game. Clearly, you can lose by double digits. But to be so lifeless the way the Suns were yesterday, where what were they down by 28 points, I guess, at half, down by 30 points at times during that game, and just watching. And if I'm being brutally honest with you, I did not watch a single second of the second half. I turned the game off. I couldn't be bothered. Like the game was over. I figured I will read the box score in the morning, and I'll watch highlights if for some reason there's a miraculous comeback. I didn't watch a second of the second half. I didn't. But in the first half, I saw all I needed to see. I spent a lot of 3 days ago saying that I didn't like the effort of Julius Randle, right? Okay? If I'm the Phoenix Suns, I'm begging for Julius Randle's effort on that team in the first half. Julius Randle is a god of effort in comparison to what I saw from the Phoenix Suns. It was like once a couple of shots didn't go, they look like, all right, where are we going for vacation? We going Cancun this year? We going to Cabo? Where are we going? We going to Ibiza? Like, where's the stop? We going golfing? Like, what is it? That was so embarrassing. Now, on the flip side, I don't want to take anything away from the Denver Nuggets, and I think you laid it out perfectly. Jokic was a beast and did everything he normally does. His 11th career postseason triple-double. He's got 5 this year. The 11 are tied for the most ever in the history of the NBA, I believe. And Jamal Murray coming back from, whatever illness he had to be able to play yesterday was absolutely awesome. And the rest of the team was great too. I thought Malone did a good job coaching. So I don't want to take anything away from them. And Jay, you're right in the chat. Campaign did play well. But that team, when you have 2 stars like that in Durant and Booker, and that's what you bring to the table, shame on you.
Yeah, it was a terrible performance. I mean, there's no other way to cut it. And that's something that, Phoenix is going to clearly have to address. It's going to have a difficult time going out there and doing it. No more comparisons if you're Stephen A. Smith with Devin Booker and Kobe Bryant. Don't want to hear any of those comparisons whatsoever. You look at Kevin Durant, who he's a bus rider. He's not a bus driver. I mean, Charles Barkley nailed it correctly, and he can go out there and we could all, I could watch the Windhorse piece this morning, bemoaning the fact of what has not happened and the injuries that he's gone through, and we know that he's still one of the all-time greats. I mean, Kevin Durant last night, had little to no impact in that game. He really didn't. The best player on the court by far was Nikola Jokic, and we'll get into the Mark Jackson leaving Jokic off of his top 5 MVP ballots. Yeah, we'll get into that here momentarily, but which was an utter and complete disgrace. And he could apologize all he wants. And I like Mark Jackson, but it's just an embarrassment. Just as the Phoenix Suns embarrassed themselves on the court last night, they really did. It was a terrible performance. You mentioned about the body language. Devin Booker. All he does is complain about calls, as do a lot of guys in the NBA when they're not getting the calls. And, the Denver Nuggets went on a 19-0 run, then backed that up with a few minutes later with an 11-0 run. The Suns were getting booed off the court, and the Phoenix Suns went by. I didn't think it was going to be that easy. I loved Denver last night. I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but it was as easy as you could possibly be, as Denver is now in the Western Conference Final, and they await the winner of the series between the Warriors and the Lakers. And whoever gets that gets a trip to Denver for game 1 of that series.
Yeah, and you said it yesterday. The Denver Nuggets money line, which was, I think, plus 138 when we were on the air yesterday. You said that was your play of the day. Of all the plays, you hockey, basketball, whatever it was, you said that was your play of the day. And I was with you. I thought they'd win, but I did not. At no point did I ever think they'd have an outing like that, the Phoenix Suns. But again, Denver played awesome. Denver also played awesome. So let's not take anything away from the number 1 team in the Western Conference.
No, they did. I'm not taking anything away.
I know you're not.
I think it's a credit to Denver. I do. I think people want to pick everybody else, just like like I mentioned earlier. I think, and so you give Denver a ton of credit. The other issue you have is, staying in with that game, that team is, Mark Jackson going out, whether it be with our buddy Justin Termini on Sirius XM NBA radio, whether it be an issue in a statement via social media. Mark Jackson going out there and apologizing for leaving Nikola Jokic off of his MVP ballot I got to be honest, that's embarrassing. It just is.
He went on with Termini, you said?
Yeah, he did yesterday. Yes.
Did you hear it? Because I didn't.
I just saw some of the quotes. I did not.
Right.
Just saw Justin tweet it out. But the point being is that it can't happen. Honestly, you shouldn't have a vote anymore. To be perfectly honest with you. You can't. That is disgraceful. And he could apologize and talk about that Jokic is one of the all-time greats. It's unfortunate what happened with the MVP voting, and it was brought on by the comments by Kendrick Perkins, which ESPN then had to apologize for it, making the MVP vote a black or white issue. It is not. And shame on Kendrick Perkins for going down that road. And ESPN then quickly a day later, Molly Karam had to issue a statement apologizing for what Kendrick Perkins had to say after, I'm sure, they got ripped to the high heavens by the NBA. So now you get into this and you look at Mark Jackson. Just as I ripped Jalen Rose last year for voting, Kyrie Irving, 3rd team All-NBA when he played 29 games and said he was mesmerized. This is the same Jalen Rose that is blaming the Heat down in Miami, outside, by the way, as the Knicks are playing inside in an indoor arena, that is telling Mike Greenberg that it's the outside of humidity that is affecting the Knicks play on the court. That's why they look so lethargic. Makes little to no sense. So Jalen Rose last year embarrassed himself by voting for Kyrie Irving, 3rd team All-NBA. Now you get Mark Jackson, who I have no idea. If you sit down and are just doing your due diligence, and he probably is not. Maybe it's somebody else filling it out. I have no idea. But how exactly, if you're Mark Jackson, who is one of the lead commentators on ABC ESPN for NBA basketball, how exactly do you not have Nikola Jokic in your top 5? You might listen. I have no issue if you voted for Joel Embiid, as the MVP. He won it. I have no issue. Led the league in scoring. Fantastic. You want to go all down there. To not have Jokic in the top 5 of your MVP voting is a complete and utter disgrace.
Now, did Mark Jackson not have him on any All-NBA teams, or just not the first team?
He didn't have him. We're talking about MVP votes.
So, but didn't Mark Jackson also not have him on an All-NBA team?
I don't know.
I thought that was what this was. So it's the MVP. He didn't have him in the top 5. All right.
Yes.
Oh, so we actually have the Jackson audio. Let's hear this. Maybe this will clarify this for us a little bit. Let's roll that audio.
I live by you make a mistake, you own it. I'm not a guy that does it for clicks or be trending. Absolute mistake made by me. You can tell I probably, in thinking, how did I make the mistake? You can tell I put 1 center, 2 forwards, and 2 guards. So I wasn't even thinking. I apologize to the Denver Nuggets. I apologize to Nikola Jokic, who is not only in the MVP discussion and deserved to be on my ballot, but he's one of the greatest players in the history of this game. And he's a top 10 center of all time. So I own it. If you want to take away my vote or do whatever, more than welcome. I made a mistake. He deserves, in my opinion, to be clearly. I would have still voted for Joel Embiid, the MVP, but with Giannis and Joker second and third, they deserve that. Incredible year by him. He continues to make history. I own the mistake, and I apologize.
All right, so here's the issue, and now I do have some clarity there. So I thought this was for all NBA.
No, it's MVP votes.
So his mistake, whether you believe him or not, is that he chose to not put 2 centers in his top 5. He thought he had to make a team out of it. Now
that makes
that's where this confused me, right? Because
it's all MVP.
I know. I read that this morning.
Yeah.
His quote about I put a center, 2 forwards, and 2 guards. So I mistakenly believed this was about an all NBA team, not just MVP. So he actually fooled me. Well done, Mark Jackson. Listen, I like Mark Jackson. I enjoy watching him on TV. You and I both know Mike Breen. And Mike talks very glowingly of working with Mark and with Jeff Van Gundy and these guys on the broadcast. You can't make this mistake. And if you if you're not sure, ask somebody. You can't make this mistake. It wasn't an all NBA team.
I don't even know if you have to ask anybody. I mean, who the hell do you have to ask? I mean, if you're voting for MVP of the league, and why do you have to have it formatted to where it's a center, 2 forwards, and 2 guards?
Well, if you think that, can I double check this?
It's someone that's clearly not thinking. I mean, it's idiotic. I mean, he shouldn't be voting.
No, you got to take this vote away now.
If we're gonna put any kind of significance or gravitas to the MVP of the regular season, and you have a guy that's covering the NBA, not just covering, is one of the lead analysts for the NBA all year long. I love Mark Jackson. He shouldn't have a vote. If you're going to be that sloppy with it, you can't vote. Yeah. I mean, it's just embarrassing. You're going to vote. You're going to put Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who had a nice year for Oklahoma City, and you're going to vote. You're going to have him 4th on your list and not having Nikola Jokic, and then you're going to look back. I mean, you can't. I'm sorry. You're not you're not leading some nation. You can't be that busy to be that sloppy. You just can't. I'm sorry. You can't. You got to be able to take some 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't take all that long. You have until midnight on the last day of the NBA regular season to go out, or I think even up until that Monday in order to get that vote in. Nobody's that busy to be that sloppy. I'm sorry. You're just not. You can't. Nobody's that busy. I don't care what you're doing in life. You have to be able to have 5 minutes to be able to have a concise thought about what the hell you're exactly about to do and be able to follow through on that. If not, then what are we talking about here? He can apologize from now to the kingdom come. You can't. What other mistakes are being made by men and women that are voting for the MVP and other awards during the course of the regular season? It's amazing. I get into this and I don't get into all the awards, and I don't even think Jokic deserved the MVP of the league this year. But it is disgraceful, and
he's not
really
top
a slight.
3, really.
Well, it's disgraceful that Nikola Jokic, when you have a guy in Mark Jackson who is one of the lead analysts that cover the association all season long. There is no bone to pick here. He's not covering one specific team. This is not any kind of angle one way or the other to not have Nikola Jokic in there. I was stunned. I mean, I was like, how do you? I'd love to know, the mindset there. It would lead me to believe either A, he didn't fill it out, or B, he just maybe confused it with the NBA MVP and all NBA. I have no idea. I don't even know if he votes for all NBA. I have no idea what he votes for.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of is that he thought he was voting for an all NBA team.
still makes little to
Yeah.
no sense.
So Moose, some people know this, some don't. You have a Heisman vote. Can you take us through like how you break that down? Because I think it's a little bit similar to voting for an MVP of a league. Neither you nor I have an NBA MVP. We don't vote for any of the four major sports, but you do have a Heisman vote. Are you allowed to talk about that? Yes, right?
Yeah, after the award. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your process of figuring out who the Heisman is and how you want to break it down? How do you go through your process for that?
Well, I mean, you watch college football season long, you see exactly who's having the greatest impact. Who do you think the greatest, player is, obviously, and how big of a role do they play in winning? And for those teams, I mean, it's become a very, very quarterback driven award, but open to the idea when you look at running backs, receivers, Devontae Smith won it with Alabama. But yeah, I mean, you have time to be able to sit down and think about it, but you research and you look at the years that guys have had, and usually by the end of the year, it becomes kind of clear about who the best player in the country is. But I mean, you kind of go into it with an open mind.
Let me ask you, how difficult is it? Because I find this fascinating. And again, I do not have a vote. You do. How difficult is it to look at like a Caleb Williams, who is probably going to end up being the first or second pick overall next year, right? We expect him to be a future NFL star. And like a Max Duggan last year, who had a really, really awesome season. But if you project forward, he's probably a backup in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't look at what they're going to be in the NFL.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't.
But how difficult is that to avoid?
I just based on what they do I don't look and project about what they're going to be or how they're going to be number one overall picks or anything like that. It's a case of who do I think watching, college football all season long, who do I think is the best player? And I thought, Caleb Williams was the best player for USC a year ago. That's why he was the top of my ballot. I thought Duggan had a really good year for TCU, but I didn't think it compared to what Williams was able to do at USC, given the limitations that he had in certain spots as well, especially when you look at USC defensively, able to overcome that. Missed tackles, especially when they took on Utah. I mean, there's just things, and I thought, Caleb Williams was ridiculously special season for USC. So it's not. I don't really project, or that's I'm not scouting players like that.
I was just wondering
I'm not projecting to the NFL, or but that my whole thing is I just kind of grade out what players are doing throughout the course of the year. You kind of have a list of guys going into the season that are Heisman Trophy contenders. But then you just let the season play out and see where it takes you.
How much over the last couple of years, and I know we're going in a little bit of a different direction, but this is off the heels of the Mark Jackson, mistake with the MVP, the NBA MVP. How much do the betting lines now kind of help you going into a season for Heisman?
No, I don't look at betting lines with that.
You don't?
I do not.
See, I would think, all right, so outside looking in, I would think that would help a little bit, because if Caleb Williams is probably the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman this year, would be my guess. So, like, if I know that, I got to pay attention to him. And let's say, like, a Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son, Colorado, I know that he's a sexy play. But if he were 30-1 odds to win the Heisman this year, and if I want to pay attention to anyone with, 30-1 or shorter odds, like, he might be on my list then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't bet on the Heisman.
No, I'm not saying you're betting on it. I'm saying what we do. A lot of times what we do, right, even when we're not talking betting, like you can pick. You can be like, all right, I think this team could win because the book believes that they're the favorite, and that could help me a little bit. Like, give me some guidance.
I get the point. I just don't. That's not part of my. That's not in my purview when I'm looking at Heisman contenders. I don't look at betting lines. I can't bet on, nor do I bet on the Heisman Trophy. Right. So I don't go down that angle. I think you read a lot of different things, whether it be, Phil Steele's college football, preview and everything like that. There's so much information out there. You have an idea of, who the big players are coming into the season. So that's why it's not about me. I just don't understand how you make that mistake. Like
Yeah.
you feel bad for, it affects guys for sure. And you wonder if there are other people that are voting for awards that are being as sloppy as that, because listen, it's not a fireable offense. Mark Jackson's not going to lose his job.
No.
I'll be honest with you, he's not going to lose his vote, I would imagine, with the way that he has apologized. I can't believe a guy that is as smart as Jackson is would make that kind of a mistake, because it's a bad one.
Really bad mistake. And I appreciate you being a little candid with us about the Heisman voting too. I just thought while we're talking about this, I thought it was a cool correlation because you have a vote in something similar to this and how serious you take that. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you sit down and you look at it and you take any kind of there's no leans, or you're not playing favorites or teams you're rooting for or teams you can't stand or anything like that. It's for the person that you think is most deserved. And I think you go into it, have a pretty open mind, whether it be offense or defense, when looking at the Heisman Trophy. So I just think, out of the respect for the award, if you are voting for it, just as much respect as you have for the award, you have to have respect for the voting process. And however way that it does play out, whether, the guy that you pick on top ends up winning the award or not, it's just a matter of you can feel good that you did your due diligence and homework in order to put together what you thought was the correct ballot in your mind. That's all it is. It's an opinion-based thing, but there are some times where, for argument's sake, if you looked at this past year and said, well, I thought Max Duggan should have won it, I didn't have Caleb Williams, number one. Well, but you would definitively have him in your top three. Like if you don't have him in your top three, you're doing the award a disservice. Or you can't stand USC, or you can't stand Lincoln Riley because he left Oklahoma, whatever it might be. Like Caleb Williams deserved that. That's similar in nature when you're looking at the fact of leaving Nikola Jokic off of the MVP ballot if you're Mark Jackson. So,
yeah,
terrible.
Jokic cannot be out of the top three.
No.
Let alone the top five.
No, he cannot.
And it was clear all year long.
Yeah. No question about it. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about the Sixers and the Celtics, get into Boston forcing a Game 7 Mother's Day up in Beantown. We'll get into that. We got to get into the NFL schedule release. Betting lines are out for week number 1. We'll touch upon that. Dave Sharapan will join us a little bit later on the program as well. It's Moose and Keith with you on an action-packed Friday right here on the Better Sports Network.
Moose and Keith. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern.
The word genius is there. Bob Glover, it describes him. Bob, so when's the last time that Twitter defeated you? Because I've been defeated by Twitter today.
I'll tell you how Twitter defeated me one time. I had the mistaken impression that the year that Troy Polamalu won the Defensive Player of the Year, it looked like it was going to go to Clay Matthews Jr., and I tweeted it. And there was a guy on the media bus. He was like, oh, yeah, he's got it. A guy I trust. I won't tell you who it was, but his initials are Mike Garafolo. So I went with it. Got a DM from Rich Eisen, NFL Network. He goes, you sure about that? I go, oh, man. Oh, I just got this wave. Because, accuracy to me is really important.
Yeah.
So I'm literally on the media bus. We're just getting back from media day. We are slipping and sliding in Dallas. It's snowing. I get off the bus. I open my laptop. I'm hunched over. And I just, literally people are passing me. Bob, what's wrong? And it was Polamalu. And Adam Schefter had retweeted me. Trey Wingo had retweeted me. I'm like, oh, I'm dead.
So when it's Polamalu, then how do you handle that? What was the subsequent tweet
I think
afterwards?
I said, got some bad Twitter info. I didn't put Garafalo's name on there. I had to
10 years later, you can out him. I like that. Yeah.
He wouldn't mind that. He knows the stories. So.
Yeah.
He actually said to me, hey, Bob, I think you might have jumped the gun on that. I was like, oh, crap. There we go.
Campus to Canton on the Better Sports Network.
Would Dion bench Shador?
I don't think he would.
How bad would it have to be? Because we've seen horrendous quarterback play from this Colorado team for the last, 5 years? JT Shroud, Brandon Lewis, just terrible quarterback play. They were 131st, which is dead last in pass EPA per play Obviously, it will be better, but how bad does it have to be for him to bench his own son? Like, I'm not sure he will ever either. Like, especially with the attitude that he came in with.
If they don't get Rashada, who do they bench him for this year anyway? I don't know that there's another answer on that roster that you go to. They don't really have a guy behind him. So I don't even know if we would know the answer to that until the next year, assuming that, he doesn't declare for the draft, he returns, they bring somebody else that's competent and behind him.
If they're going to do this the Lincoln Riley way, next year would be the class to bring somebody in. Shedeur Sanders is going to be a third-year player. So he's going to play 2023. I don't think he's declaring for the 2024 NFL draft. So he's going to play in 2024 and then declare for the 2025 NFL draft. And let's remember this. He hasn't had a full recruiting cycle at Colorado. He will have that next recruiting cycle. So maybe he could get one of these class of 2024 quarterbacks there to come to Colorado.
However you're invested in sports, from betting to fantasy, collectibles, and more, join our community on Better Sports Network.
Moose and Keith with you on this Friday right here on the Better Sports Network. Kicked it off, talking a little bit about the Suns getting eliminated last night by the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic being left off the MVP ballot by Mark Jackson. And last night down in Philadelphia, how about the 76ers? After winning Game 5 on the road, back at home last night, a tremendous fourth quarter performance by Jason Tatum, who was awful shooting the basketball for the first 3 quarters before he got hot late. Joel Embiid not fed enough. I think the Philadelphia 76ers went 1 of 10 from the floor down the stretch of the game last night. And the Boston Celtics go into Philly last night, Keith, force a Game 7, win an elimination game, potentially for them, to get to that 7 game, even up the series at 3 games apiece. Tatum, fantastic. Robert Williams finally getting a little playing time, I thought was the big key, for Joe Mazzulla, and the adjustment that he made. Him and Horford down low defensively have been fantastic together all season long when you look at the defensive metrics. And the Boston Celtics win a big-time road game, just like they did last year against the Milwaukee Bucks, did the same. Tatum not as brilliant, but he was brilliant when he needed to be.
For 3 quarters, it looked like Jason Tatum was going to have a lot of questions to answer throughout the entire offseason, right? Come up small in Game 5. Come up small in Game 6. What's next for the Boston Celtics? And then he absolutely crushed it in the fourth quarter. He personally outscored the Sixers 16-13 in that fourth quarter after missing, 14 of his first 15 shots, after missing his first 6 3-point attempts. I mean, he just looked bad. He was playing bad basketball. And then the fourth quarter, he was everything that Boston Celtics fans dream about. And as for the Sixers, my goodness, how do you go? And I think I wrote it down as 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but I think it was actually like 3 minutes and 34 seconds, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. There was 3.5 minutes in the final portion of the game where Joel Embiid not only didn't shoot, he didn't touch the ball. How is he not touching the basketball? What's going wrong?
I have no idea.
Doc Rivers having a Mark Jackson brain fart?
Well, Doc has been terrible in these games, in these playoff games. I mean, he's a terrible Game 7 record. When he has a chance to eliminate a team, and his teams have a terrible record. You see with Denver, they feed Nikola Jokic all the time. Why are you not exactly feeding Joel Embiid? Now, we understand Embiid's playing with a knee sprain and banged up. He did take the knee brace off. But he's got to be the guy that's got to be the go-to guy. It can't be PJ Tucker threes from the corner. How are you not feeding the MVP of the league?
And if you're the Philadelphia 76ers and you're afraid about his injuries, then don't play him. Like, he's on the court. He is one of the 2 or 3 best players in the world. He's the league MVP. I don't care if he's a banged up knee or not. If he's on the court, he needs to touch the ball at clutch moments. Come on.
And now the Celtics are a 7-point favorite at home on Sunday against the Philadelphia 76ers. And, I'd be stunned. Boston let Game 5 slip through their fingers. They lost Game 1 at home. Is Boston really going to lose 3 home games in this series against the Philadelphia 76ers? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I think you've seen the adjustment by Mazzulla. They got the test. They went into the Lions' den last night. Now, stranger things do happen. I get it, but I'd be really, really surprised if Boston laid an egg on Sunday, on Mother's Day, at home against Philadelphia. I think they win. I think they advance the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, Celtics ended up finishing on a 14-5 run there too. I think they'll end up winning on Sunday as well. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, to my mom, to Jody, to my sister, to my sister-in-law, all the moms out there, to Donna and everybody. All right.
Yes, happy
It's
Mother's
going to be a big weekend coming up.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Do you go crazy with Mother's Day gifts or no?
No.
Me neither. We don't. We Jody and I have this agreement. Like Mother's Day, Father's Day, we can get like little cutesy stuff if we want. Nothing.
Yeah.
Big. Nothing big.
There you go. Very nice. Well, I'm sure, but you'll spend time together, enjoy it. The kids.
We'll be at an AAU basketball game.
Oh, there you go.
We're gonna be down in South Jersey, in like Tinton Falls, New Jersey. I think we're gonna be in.
Beautiful.
That's where we're gonna be on Sunday.
There you go. Well, I mean, I'm sure Jody will absolutely adore it and love it.
Yes. Yeah.
You got 2 NBA games tonight. Knicks and Heat, get it going. Scott Foster is going to be the crew chief. The NBA announced that. So the Heat are sitting as 6-point favorites at home this evening. And, for Baby J and all the Knicks fans out there, you got yourself an extra game. Now you need another Herculean performance from Jalen Brunson playing with the bummed ankle, coming off a 48-minute game. In game 5, you need another Herculean performance from Quentin Grimes. You need RJ Barrett to perform. You need the hustle plays. Julius Randle to take care of the basketball. The Knicks, won a game 5 at home. I think they had 18 turnovers in that game. That's not going to cut it tonight. They're also going to need Miami to be ice cold as they were for the better part of 3.5 quarters at Madison Square Garden to be that kind of a shooting team, which they were more consistently than not during the course of the regular season. They're going to need that Heat team, and hopefully the Superman Jimmy Butler doesn't show up tonight. What's your take on Heat Knicks, game 6 tonight down in Miami?
I'd like to ask a question first. The Scott Foster effect on this game, because I know that his is a name as a lead referee that tends to lend itself to something. Do we know what the Scott Foster effect is or no? Does he tend to lean one way or not?
No, I don't know. I
forget.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I don't have the stats to back it up. I don't know.
I couldn't remember if you did. As for this game, I don't feel good about the Knicks tonight. I don't. I think I don't think they get blown out. I think it's a competitive game the whole way through. We haven't had, I think you just said it, we haven't had the Jimmy Butler game yet. I feel like tonight's a Jimmy Butler game. Jimmy goes for, in the 30s and Heat win by 5 or 6.
Yeah, so you would take the Knicks in the points.
I think I would take Knicks in the points. I think the Knicks can keep it close enough because for all that I was saying earlier in the week, they are a tough-minded team in general. The fact that Jalen Brunson and Quentin Grimes played all 48 minutes, which is something that doesn't happen anymore, and yet, they all left it out on the line the other night. Now, that would be my other fear is that, and I know that we're never supposed to say, athletes getting tired. They're young. They're so well paid. I'm sorry. If you're not used to playing 48 minutes, it still is a taxing thing on you. And also someone like Jalen Brunson, who's been battling through injuries this entire postseason. I'm worried Brunson doesn't have an efficient shooting night.
Yeah.
That scares me a little.
Right. And Baby J's talking about the fact that it could be Julius Randle's night. Maybe. They're going to need somebody, and maybe it's going to be a Randle night. The Knicks looked at Julius Randle as being a big-time player, big-time key if they were to beat the Heat in this series. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I just think the Heat find a way. I don't have a feel one way or the other when you look at the spread. If you had to put as a gun to my head, I'd probably take Miami and lay the 6, but I don't love it. I can understand why you take the Knicks and the 6 points tonight down in South Beach. I think if Miami shoots cold and they're not knocking down their outside shots, yeah, the Knicks can easily win the game. The Knicks needed to do and had a lot of things go their way in game 5 that helped out their cause, and they still held on for dear life in the fourth quarter. And that was a crowd that watched the Knicks 19-point lead diminished down to a measly 2 points before Jalen Brunson 3 made it a 5-point game late in the fourth quarter. So I just think Miami's been, as we've talked about this entire series, I think Miami's been the better basketball team. I understand they lead the series 3-2. I think it's been a pretty significant margin on the whole when you look at the two groups. doesn't necessarily mean the Knicks can't find another level tonight, or Miami doesn't have another downturn performance. I really think I'm not expecting the Knicks to have a good shooting performance tonight. If Miami,
because of the weather,
yeah, well, no, just because they're just not a good 3-point shooting team. If Miami goes cold from behind the arc, the Knicks can easily force a game 7, which would be some scene Monday night at Madison Square Garden. But my gut feel probably is that the season ends for the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, it's my gut feel too. I don't want it to end. I want to see the Knicks continue to play. I like this team. I like this team. I wouldn't say I love this team. I like this team. I like this team a lot. I'm in like with this team.
Okay. Why don't you love the team?
Missing one piece.
Okay.
Just missing something. Little oomph. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, when I can love a team even with deficiencies.
Not me. I need perfection.
Gotcha.
I only love perfection.
I gotcha. So you only love the greats. Like I understand. I love the Knicks in the 90s. They didn't win a championship, but I love those teams. And I knew that there were deficiencies with that group. With
they made it to a championship. I can rock with them.
And Ewing and Oakley. I mean, and Harper. I just love the overall toughness of that team, the way that they went about their business. When Pat Riley was coaching, even Jeff Van Gundy even loved the 99 team.
Yeah.
And loved Spreewell and, to an extent, even though he's significantly overpaid Allen Houston, and when he came over from the Detroit Pistons. So I can love a team. I think that this team has been made out to be more than what it is, based on the fact that I think as a fan base, we have been starving for any sort of relevancy with the Knicks. And good on this team. If they should lose tonight, or say they win tonight, and I think they got a puncher's chance tonight. I think they could, they could win, or they could lose a game 7. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami loses tonight and then wins a game 7 Monday night at Madison Square Garden. However way it plays out here, if the Knicks should fall in the series against Miami, the season's been a success. Like nobody can go back and look at it and say, well, the season was a failure. No, I understand the East is opened up and you're taking on 8 seed. Miami's not a true 8 seed. They're just not. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago. They didn't play as well in the course of the regular season. It's also showing you don't necessarily have to play brilliantly during the regular season, have postseason success in the NBA, which might become a trend that troubles Adam Silver, the commissioner of the league.
Yeah. Most people did not believe the Knicks were going to beat the Cavaliers either. Remember that.
No.
So nothing about this season will be a failure. Now, listen, if for some reason the Knicks pull a Phoenix Suns and lose by 20-something points tonight and they're lifeless, I think Monday's going to be difficult for Knicks fans, or tomorrow would be difficult. But Monday, when you and I are back on the air together, would be difficult to discuss how you view. It's, whenever a season ends, and we're hoping that the Knicks season doesn't end, but whenever a season ends, it is, what have you done for me lately? And if you lose a close game and you fought tooth and nail, then everyone's like, all right, well, you got past the Cavs. We got some pieces to build on. We learned that Jalen Brunson is the point guard of the now and of the future. RJ Barrett, if he can get with a shooting coach, could take one step forward. I mean, literally, he should, whoever the number one shooting coach is in the world, I know my guy, Chris Matthews, lethal shooter, have RJ Barrett spend the entire summer with him and just learn how to shoot a three-pointer. But I think there's all those things. But if on the other side, let's throw it this way. If the Knicks lose by 25 tonight and Brunson maybe gets lit up defensively, you've talked a lot about his struggles on the defensive side, and Randall goes for 14 points and 9 rebounds and is lifeless with his effort, and RJ Barrett goes 1 for 9 from 3-point. I'm making up a whole bunch of numbers. What's going to happen is you're going to go, it was a successful season, but now we have lots of questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, sure. You could look at that. I think, there's things and pieces that this team needs to add for sure. Yeah. And the talent level, they need to add a couple of guys from the outside that could shoot the basketball. They need more shooters, is what they need. And maybe pair off a Randall and or a Mitchell Robinson. Clearly, you've gotten a guy in Jalen Brunson, which is the face of this team. And I like Josh Hart as a player, but we talk about limitations. There's limitations to what certain guys on this team about what they're capable of doing. That's not saying they can't fill a role, but you have to know what they can and what they cannot do. And if they start to step out of their comfort zone, they show a little bit more warts to their game. Late game tonight is Warriors and Lakers out in Los Angeles. Golden State on the road, sitting as a 3-point dog, plus 126 on the money line. The total in the game sitting at 221. Injury note in this one is Andrew Wiggins dealing with a rib injury, coastal cartilage injury. He's got a partial fracture, basically his rib cage, for all intents and purposes. So we'll see if he is questionable. We'll see if he's able to play through a little pain and discomfort tonight, and what that version of Andrew Wiggins, if he's able to give it a go. What says you about the Lakers and Warriors?
Wiggins doesn't play, Lakers win tonight. All right, I'm going to mark that down. Wiggins does play. I still think the Lakers can win tonight. I think tonight's the LeBron James night. It's the LeBron game. We're going to get 30. We're going to get vintage LeBron. 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, pretty efficient, getting other players involved. He's going to play above average defense. He'll make a few big hustle plays. It's a LeBron game tonight. I also think that Anthony Davis, now that he's not in the concussion protocol, it really has been. It's 3 consecutive games of him looking like the person that we all want him to be. If you enjoy just sports in general, I think he's going to do very well tonight too. The caveat here is this: we know about Game 6 Clay, right? It's a thing. It has been a thing. His numbers are huge Game 6s. If Clay goes off for 7 or 8 3-pointers, going to be a hard mountain to climb for the LA Lakers. With all that, so I'm giving you a bunch of different little pieces. I think I'll take the Lakers and the points. I'll take them to win.
You'll take the Lakers. You'll lay the points.
I will. Give me the 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 is what we have right now.
Yeah, you're laying 3. Right?
Yeah, I think they can win this by 3. Yep.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a Game 7.
I hope you're wrong.
I think we're going to get a Game 7 in this series. I know you've got betting interest and you've got a Lakers future, but I don't know. I think I thought that I'm not sure. We'll figure out and find out. I think Wiggins is going to give it a go, to be honest with you. But I just don't know if I can necessarily say, well, if Wiggins plays, because I just don't know what the version of Andrew Wiggins is going to be. I also don't necessarily think he's the prime, even though he's the best perimeter defender for Golden State. Even if it's a limited Andrew Wiggins, I don't know if he is necessarily the biggest key to this team when you look at Golden State's success. Listen, it's great that Anthony Davis is not in the concussion protocol. It's great that he's probable that he's going to play tonight if you're a Laker fan. The question then becomes okay, what version of Anthony Davis am I going to get? Yeah. Because that's the other issue for a guy that, for everyone talks about how generational of a talent Anthony Davis is. And I'm not, you look at his stats, he's great. We joke around about the fact he's always hurt, which is true. He also is remarkably inconsistent, and whether the production on the court. So you could talk about other things. I'm paying Anthony Davis the amount of money you pay to put the ball in the basket and grab boards, and defend and be a guy that's got guard skills, as we knew about when he was in Kentucky, and do all the things that Anthony Davis can do at his size, which has been utterly remarkable. You've just seen good game, bad game, good game, bad game. And, we'll see, what version of Davis you get tonight. You mentioned it, Keith, before the series started, that he's a key to the series for the Lakers. I think he's a bigger key. I also think for Golden State, you mentioned it about Klay Thompson knocking down outside shots. If the Warriors are knocking down their threes, as they did with 11 in the first half, when they were able to put up, a working margin against the Lakers in half number 1 in Game 5. They only hit 2 in the second half. If Golden State's knocking down their outside shots, well, the Lakers could be in trouble tonight. I think we're going to get an unbelievable basketball game. I hope so. I mean, because the first game last night was great. Second game, not so much. Hopefully we get 2 great games tonight, Knicks Heat and Lakers Warriors. I'll take Golden State. I think Miami eliminates New York. I'll take Golden State to extend the series and get it back to Golden State for a 7th game.
With Anthony
Which
Davis
would be unbelievable.
Oh, my God. It would be amazing. With Anthony Davis on the court, the Lakers are a plus 59. With him off the court, they are a minus 18.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show, again, as important as LeBron is, we all know my affinity for LeBron. Anthony Davis, I will sing it until the cows come home or whatever it is. If Anthony Davis is the best player on the court tonight, Lakers win, Lakers advance. I also think, by the way, LeBron's so cerebral, right? If he's thinking about there's got to be two things that are in the back of your mind. If you lose tonight, you have to go back to Golden State, and that's going to be a really hard game to win, right? And if you lose tonight, you don't get the extra break. So the Western Conference final starts on Tuesday, no matter what, in Denver. Win tonight, you got Saturday, you got Sunday, you got Monday, and you got most of Tuesday. So you're basically getting 3.5 days off to rest all your bodies. Anthony Davis and his, battered body. LeBron James and his older body that's got, been worn down over the years. So I think I think that is something that the LA Lakers would have to at least discuss. Be like, guys, we need to play tonight like it's elimination. Let's just win tonight, and then we get a couple days off.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, I don't disagree with that. I think Golden State, just like they're the defending NBA champs. I agree. It would be very, very beneficial for the Lakers to eliminate Golden State tonight. Baby J, 7 first-round picks and RJ Barrett for Devin Booker. Yeah, no.
Who's saying yes? You think the Suns are not saying yes to that, even if it was? No. You think the Suns would say yes to that?
No.
No, they're not trying to rebuild. I mean, unless they're trading.
That's why Jacob Costa said, "Stay off the drugs, baby."
Yeah.
That's not happening. That's like a typical WFAN. Ernie can attest this overnight call at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Where every Yankee fan, go trade for Mike Trout. Yeah, that's easier said than done. But yes, appreciate it. But no, that's never going to happen.
Wasn't that a legendary call in FAN where someone called up about trading Ray Ordonez for like Alex Rodriguez or something like that? Was that what it was?
I don't remember that one. It could be. I wouldn't say it's.
Hey, Mike. I think it was like, hey, Mike, I think the Mets should trade Ordonez away and we get Alex Rodriguez. And if we got to throw we'll throw a draft pick in there. It's all right. Wait, I'll take your answer off the line, Mike. I love some of the callers on some of the new, any local network, by the way, is usually great.
For sure.
What did Ernie say? I had a guy who wanted to trade 3 Yankees after the season who were free agents for Trout. Oh, good.
Yeah. Mike Trout can help a lot of teams for sure. He can certainly help out the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I don't really know why. So the Yankees, listen, I think Carlos Rodon is on the right. Like, just trade Carlos Rodon straight up for Shohei Ohtani. It makes a lot of sense, right? The Angels. And I mean, listen, if you got to throw in like an Oswaldo Cabrera, I mean, I all right, fine. We'll do it. All right. So Cabrera and Rodon straight up for Ohtani. Makes a lot of sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'll listen to your answer on the other side.
100%. Who wouldn't do that? If you're a Yankee fan, no doubt about it. Rodon for Ohtani, sign me up.
I think, all right, so I just came up with an idea. I think that we need to start doing like once a week, we'll have, we have a wonderful group of people in the chat who could come up with like the worst trade offer. That would be fun. But you have to sell it like you're being for real. That's what I want. Yeah. I want like, so. All right, Moose.
I have too many scars. I don't know if I'm in for that.
Oh, I think it'll be fun. I want your scars to
no,
be
I'm
out
good.
There. Moose. I was just wondering, do you think that the Islanders can trade away a first-round pick for Connor McDavid? I mean, McDavid needs to be in New York. He needs to be, he could go to the Rangers too. That would work also. What do you think? I'll hang up and listen.
Yes. Usually they don't hang up though.
Yeah, right. They just listen. Mm-hmm. No, Moose, but I don't. Why don't you think that could work? I don't get it. It'd be perfect. David in New York. It's great. It's great. Gold.
Yeah, I think be careful what you wish for. That was it.
I know. I'm just having fun.
No, I'm being serious. Dude. There's a lot of bad trade calls. If you've been through those battles, I don't know if you're looking to hear more and more of them. But yes, we could do something like that.
So all right, so you have Heat tonight and you have Warriors tonight. If you put those two together, just for to check in, that would be plus 216.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, plus 216. Yes.
Yeah.
If you wanted to put those together. Again.
Yeah, I don't love either. I don't love I'll just be clear. Like Denver, I adored.
Yeah, you did. They were your baby.
Denver, I adored. I don't adore the Warriors or the Heat tonight. Like I don't. I adore Denver, and I loved watching every minute of it.
It was nice.
It was great. It was just so sweet. It really was.
Yeah, and I wanted to like the Suns. I did.
For those fraud Sun fans, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
And for Kevin Durant, who begged out of Brooklyn, who gets upset when people are critical of him, oh, it was sweet. Basically, sitting on the bench with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There's nothing about that's amazing.
I told you I did not watch a single second of the second half.
It's absolutely I got the popcorn out last night. Oh, it's just enjoyable.
You're like, I don't need a game.
Watching Scrub scoring for Denver. I mean, it's just like place is half empty. I mean, it's just awesome. Yeah. Nice trades, Phoenix. Nice job. They've been eliminated by last year. They were down by 46 in the fourth quarter to Dallas before they pulled their starters. They lost the elimination game last year, 123-90. This year, 125-100.
At least they know a trend.
Yes,
they have a type.
We got to get into the NFL. We'll do that. Touch upon what Keith and I are going to be doing later on tonight as well. It's Moose and Keith with you on a Friday right here, Better Sports Network.
Vegas Raiders have traded up to 35, and they give up the 38th overall pick. In addition, a 5th-round pick goes to Indianapolis as the Colts trade down. The pick is in. And, Coop, your top 2 tight ends, best tight ends available, are now off the board as Michael Mayer is going to be the Darren Waller replacement in Las Vegas, catching balls from Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe somebody else in the future. But Michael Mayer is off the board. The Raiders have traded up, and I always look at this, too, from like dynasty fantasy football standpoint. I always like the guys that are traded up for. Michael Mayer gets traded up for as he is off the board now at pick 35. He goes to the Raiders. How does he fit in this system? Not only with Jimmy Garoppolo, but also Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, some significant pass catchers there, including Hunter Renfrow now.
Eric, I love that you pointed that out because that's the part of the draft that people forget when they're doing their analysis. They think about the draft capital. They think about the landing spot. They forget the draft narrative, right? This proves to us that the Raiders, at the very least, had Michael Mayer as high as Sam Laporta or maybe even higher because they're looking around and saying, all right, that guy's gone. We have to get this guy right now. And this guy probably is a better fit for what Josh McDaniel wants to do. He's used to Rob Gronkowski. He's used to Hunter Henry, these two-way tight ends that can block and run routes down the seam. Sam Laporta is not going to do that. He's only 240 pounds. This guy is your prototypical real-life tight end. That's why a lot of people were saying he's the best real tight end in the draft. Clearly, pass catching is at a premium. That's why Dalton Kincaid and Sam Laporta went first. But this guy's going to fit really well into that scheme. My question is, when does he become fantasy relevant? Because the vast majority of tight ends that are fantasy relevant are top 2 targets on their team with Devontae Adams there and Jacoby Myers there
that's not happening.
And Hunter Renfrow there. I mean, when does it happen, Moose? How long do we have to wait?
Yeah, forever. It might be a while. I mean, when you look at it, but I do think he's a great fit. Moose and Keith schedule release came out National Football League yesterday, and we'll get into some of the lines are out already for week 1. Sharapan will join us right at the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour, but we're going to be, you and I've done it. I think this is like 4th or 5th time that I've done it. You're going to be a part of it tonight, and that is we're going to be out the Meadowlands later on tonight, Meadowlands Racetrack, and we're going to be part of the Sportscasters Derby, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm the rookie, right? So I know odds have come out, and am I still the longest shot? Or did they change with Willie Colon coming in?
I don't know. I'm not sure what the latest odds are.
All right. Your boy Ken,
Ken Workington, correct.
Yeah, he already reached out to me on the side, to mock me a little bit, getting ready. I heard he crushed you last year with Moose not on the loose.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Years ago?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so tell me what to expect tonight.
Just have it's a great experience. You're gonna be part of you're gonna be in like a sulky with a driver and one of the world class drivers at the Meadowlands, and yeah, I think it's like a half-mile race.
How fast is the race?
It's
Like
like
how long does
probably
it
a
take?
minute.
It's a minute. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Um,
quick. It's not. Yeah, you warm up a little bit, and then it's probably I don't know, maybe it's 70 seconds, something like that. You
and now
go.
I'm sitting with my guy is David Miller, so I'm sitting with him,
Yep, you're sitting right next to him.
like Baby Bjorn style, or it was a joke.
No,
Like
no,
I'm in
no.
a
No,
carrier.
no. You're sitting right. No, it's like a two-person like little cart that's right behind you,
Can't believe that joke went over
right
your
behind
head.
the horse.
All right.
Yes, yeah.
It hasn't been that long since you had babies.
No. I'm no. I was just trying to think. No. Yeah. No, you're in like a two-person cart right behind the horse. It's
Do I
awesome.
do anything, or I'm literally just sitting there for the ride?
No. No. I think you're just sitting. No, you're basically just sitting there for the ride.
Okay.
You're not. No, you're not controlling the horse, nor would they want you to. You'd probably kill yourself.
No, we'd be fine. I'm a pro. You don't know about me.
So,
Do-
that would be the end to Keith Arizari.
Will I get dirty doing this?
No, not like that. Maybe a little dirt on your face, a little kickback.
But my
And,
shoes are fine. I can wear nice shoes.
Yeah, I mean they'll get a little dirt. Yeah, I mean there's dirt on the track. I mean I
Yeah.
wouldn't wear $1,000 shoes.
All right. Okay.
So-
All right. Now,
Here's the funny thing, like I don't like so Deutsch texted me at like 9:45 last night.
okay.
Like, can I still come to the Sportscasters Derby? I'm like, Matt, yeah, it's open to the public.
yeah. Oh,
Like I
George
don't
is
understand
coming?
like how I became like it's not my event.
Are you sure? Because it feels like it is.
It's not my event. Like I
Although,
don't understand.
You know, I wasn't
Like I
invited
don't
by
understand
you.
how I became the leader. Like I didn't know this is not my like I got asked to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's not my
Well, you're
my
the
whole
ponies
event.
guy. That's why.
Yet I'm being like Deutsch is texting me last night. I'm like, Matt, yeah, you're more than welcome to come. I go, yeah, it's open to the public. Like I don't know like where like yeah, you can show up for sure. You can come. Like it was just like a weird like I didn't even know how to respond to the text. I really
So
didn't.
we
Like it was just
are-
weird. Like I know you and Durst chatted about it and texted about it on the
Yes.
side, and then
Yep.
and then he related, and then I get into a conference call with Deutsch, Durst, and Adam Bernard behind the scenes. They're like, well, tell us about it. Like, what's going on? What's the Wi-Fi at the Meadowlands? I'm like, guys, I have no idea. Like, it was just so odd. Like, I don't, it's so like, but Matt texted me, like, I'm like, Matt, yeah, you're free to come. You're more than welcome to come. But it was, I go, I have just as much information on the Wi-Fi at the Meadowlands as Keith does.
Yes. So we are race number 2.
Yes.
Okay. Which will take anywhere between like 7:50 and like 8:05, basically, is where they say we'll race. We're after harness race number 5.
Yeah.
And so you are with your driver's Todd McCarthy. What's the name of your horse again?
I don't remember.
Pasta Lentica, I think it is.
Maybe.
I think you have Pasta Lentica. Willie Colon has now stepped in for Wally Zerbiak because the Knicks are playing tonight. He's got Yannick Gingras, I think is how you say the name.
Yannick Gingras.
That's how you say it?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Oh, we got the graphic there. Okay. And then Maria Marino from Action Network. She's been on our show before. We both know her for a while. Scott Zarin. And then I have David Miller. I know that the name of my horse, by the way, is Virginia Slims with a Z at the end, which, I mean, if we're all just going to be honest here, how does that horse not win? Virginia
Yeah, it's a
Slims
great
with
name.
a Z, with a Z
Yeah.
at the end of it.
No doubt.
All right. So now I had people reaching out to me yesterday when a bunch of this came out that Willie Colon was in. They were like, "Oh, well, Willie's going to be the biggest guy in the race. Keith, you can't be the longest shot anymore. He's got to be longer odds than you."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could look at it. I mean, but you don't. I don't know if necessarily that is indeed.
The size of a human being. I mean, that's what a horse is carrying, right?
Well, he's pulling, right.
Yeah, pulling.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be a factor if you're pulling less weight. I'm sure it's going to be allow you to go faster. I think it's the same 4 horses for each race though, too. So
Do I curl up
little
into a
bit of
ball, get really compact? Just kidding. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be tonight.
Yeah, so
It'll
it'll
be
be
a fun
tonight.
event.
Your family's going, right?
Yeah, my two boys are gonna go.
Two of the boys.
Two of the boys, yes.
Which
And my
ones?
dad. Jackson and Gregory are gonna go.
Jackson and Gregory.
Oldest and youngest, yeah. And my dad's gonna meet us there.
I'm gonna meet Pops.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got so Jody and my boys are going.
Beautiful. That's
So
great. They'll have a great
the three of them
time.
will be there.
They'll
Yeah.
have an absolute blast. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, it's gonna be after race 5, and it'll be it's a great experience. It's an unbelievable
And it's all for charity. All like if you win a race, a certain amount of money goes to your charity, and even if
No
you
doubt.
lose the race, a certain amount of money goes to charity.
100%.
Yeah, and you're Make-A-Wish Foundation, correct?
I am. And you?
Memorial Sloan, the cancer portion. Memorial Sloan Cancer.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, Kettering. Yeah. So I did that for my mother-in-law.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll raise money for great charities. It's a fun event. It's a great experience. It's going to be an absolute blast. What time are you guys getting out there tonight?
So I actually got Jody and the boys a car, so they're gonna get driven there because I'm already gonna be in Jersey, and I don't want to have to drive 2 cars home.
Beautiful. Very nice.
I'm gonna go do Better's Eye at our studios in Secaucus, which is 8 minutes from the Meadowlands, whatever it is. So I'll do the show from 6 to 6:30, and I should hopefully be getting to the Meadowlands by 6:50, 6:55 maybe. Take me 20 minutes to get over there from Secaucus at that time.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe less.
days
I mean, I looked it up. It is less. It just depends
Yeah.
on
traffic.
traffic at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll meet me there. And if they get there earlier than me, I'll
Yeah,
tell
it's a
them to
great
come find you.
experience. You'll be happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's great.
You missed that
Everyone
last
over at
part.
the Meadowlands is fantastic.
You missed that last part. I said if they get there before me, I'm just going to tell them to come find you, my family.
Oh,
And they're just going to
yeah.
hang out with you. Yes.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. No, I'll be happy to see Jody and the boys, no doubt.
I can't wait to meet the boys and your dad too.
Yeah, so it'll be nice. It'll be a great experience, and I think Nick and Joe. I have no idea. I texted Matt back last night. He didn't respond, so I have
Well,
no
they're
idea
shooting
if he-
something about this. Yeah, so they're gonna.
Yeah,
they're
so I
bringing a
don't know if
camera.
Deutsch is going to make an appearance tonight. He may or may not. I have no idea, but I think Nick and Joe are going to be there.
Yeah, any of our great followers out there, you guys want to come stop by and hang out, bet on a few horses.
Yes, come by and stop.
Bet
by
on
and
me
say
to win.
hello. No doubt. I don't think you can't bet the race.
Yeah, I mean you can, not legally, but I'm sure you
No,
can.
well, yeah, you can have a little friendly side bet for sure.
Yeah, I mean Austin already told me that he's gonna bet Jackson. He wanted to place a wager with Jackson, so Austin and Jackson will place a wager on their dads, and let Gregory and Alex place a wager on their dads.
Beautiful, love
Do
it.
like a push-up wager or something like that.
There you go. See what happens.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. We get our kids into gambling. Great. You guys are the best fathers ever. Dads of the year.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's going to be great tonight.
Yeah.
It really will be. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be a cool experience, fun night, good night out, and just kind of go to the backside, see the horses, and then get on the track. And it's just a really, really fun event. So they do it each and every year. The Sportscasters Derby. I'm glad you're able to be a part of it this year.
Yeah,
Keith. It's awesome.
Yep. Yeah. Maria Marino actually had reached out, which was fantastic. I've known her for a while, so it was cool. She's like, I think you'd have a blast doing it. You want to do it?
Yeah,
Yes.
she loved it last
I
year.
know.
She did.
And
And
she
she
won.
was victorious. Yes,
Yeah.
she was. Yes,
She's
no
the
doubt
odds-on
about it.
favorite. We got to take her. Listen, if I'm being brutally honest, I just want either me or Willie to win. I want Hofstra to win tonight. I'm sorry.
That's it. I know. Two
I'm rooting
guys
for
from
Hofstra.
Hofstra. That's
Yeah.
it. Hofstra strong.
Yeah, Willie I think he was a freshman my senior year.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he was
Willie
with,
was a
Marcus.
freshman your senior year? Okay.
Yeah, he was with Marcus Colston. Colston was a freshman.
Oh, gotcha.
I think he was redshirted. I don't think he played that year.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
I
right.
don't think I ever broadcasted any of Willie Cullen's games.
Did you get into any of the NFL schedule
Little
in
bit.
terms of the individual teams releasing
Yeah.
the videos? Yeah, the
Little
Titans
bit.
had a good one. Patriots had a good one. Week 1. I mean, the entire season is out. We've got betting lines, though. Week 1. Lions and Chiefs get it going on the Thursday night. Detroit getting 6.5. I love looking at kind of ahead of the lines before training camps and before everything and seeing exactly where it stands. But, Detroit and Kansas City, I don't know if I love Goff and the Lions taking on the Chiefs opening night, but I get it. Detroit was a really good story last year. Campbell did an amazing job, could have easily made it into the postseason. Obviously did not. High expectations this year. They begin on the road in Kansas City that Thursday night game. They're getting 6.5 on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know who wins this game or not yet. I mean, there's so much to still be decided. I think it's more about just matchups and the fun. I like this matchup because the Detroit Lions are a sexy, trendy pick for a lot of people. A lot of people think they're going to win their division. A lot of people think that they could end up even being maybe the number one seed in the NFC because the other divisions are going to have, like, the Niners are going to get beat up a little bit. The Eagles could get beat up a little bit. The Cowboys could get beat up a little bit. You know, you go back and forth, and maybe the Lions kind of run away with their division. So I think it'll be fun. It's a fun matchup. I think I love the fact that the defending Super Bowl winner plays on the opening night. I like that a lot. I want to see what the Chiefs are going to be this year. I think the AFC, we all know, is extremely loaded. I think, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pick these winners, but I do think what you can do, and I know that we did this last year, is you can start looking at these schedules and at least have an idea for regular season wins. Like, I'll look at the Buffalo Bills and I saw their schedule. I see 11 wins on their schedule. So the over 10.5, as I sit here on Friday, May 12th, feels very, very doable. Like, that was one of the teams I looked at their schedule. I go, yep, probably, yep, maybe, probably, yep. Okay, I should get 11 wins out of that.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, the old Mike and Chris win-loss. You
Yeah.
can go down the line and look at that. I mean, some of the matchups and
What else
lines
did you like in week one?
Yeah, I mean, that intrigued me. Jags Colts, Jacksonville on the road. They're only laying 4 in Indianapolis. If Anthony Richardson is indeed the week one starter, if we go on that idea, and Jacksonville's now going to be year 2 with Doug Peterson, year 3, I would say, but year 2 under the guidance of Doug Peterson. When you look at Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, getting a stud receiver back from suspension that they acquired last year from the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, how do you not like the Jacksonville Jaguars laying the 4, especially if Richardson's your starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, where if that is indeed the case, not that saying that that's not the way I would go. I'd give Anthony Richardson a little bit of time in order to kind of gain a little experience watching from afar instead of throwing him right into the deep end of the pool. But I understand his athletic ability. I understand his talent, and we all get that. Don't love the pick when they made it. But I do like Jacksonville. I would lay the 4 with the Jaguars on the road in Indianapolis, week number 1. A couple of the other ones that interested me: Eagles in New England, Philadelphia laying 4. Obviously, getting Howie Roseman and company getting all accolades for the draft that they had this a couple weeks back in the NFL draft, and Jalen Hurts getting paid. Philadelphia, one of those teams, when you look at them, not only in the NFC East, but in the NFC on the whole. You look at the New England Patriots, questions, obviously. Now they've got an offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien. If you like Mac Jones, or you think Mac Jones is just a guy, the Patriots are getting 4 at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's an intriguing line where I think you're saying to yourself, how is that entirely possible? Well, I mean, maybe they're baiting you to kind of take Philadelphia a little bit, saying that line is a little bit too low based on what we saw from the Patriots. I do think the Patriots offensively, though, are going to look distinctly different under O'Brien than they did under Matt Patricia, who's now a defensive assistant for Philadelphia, and Joe Judge. The other one, how about the Dolphins in Los Angeles taking on the Chargers? Going on the idea, obviously, Tua, no concussion, healthy, or no more concussions, healthy. When you get Tua and Justin Herbert week 1 in L.A., the Chargers is a 2-point favorite. Cowboys, Giants, and we hit upon the other day, was leaked by Troy Aikman on Good Morning America. The first Monday Night Football game of the year is going to be Bills and Jets at MetLife Stadium on September 11th.
Yeah, I think you laid out a few good ones there. I will also throw out Packers on the road in Chicago, taking on Justin Fields. Justin Fields and Jordan Love getting his first real start as the real guy in Green Bay. My initial thought right now would probably be that the Bears win that game. I like the Bears this year. I think they're going to be a thorn in a lot of people's sides. They're gonna win some close games. They're gonna lose some close games. I like the Bears a lot this season to take a little bit of a step forward. Cowboys Giants is fascinating. Daniel Jones gets paid. Saquon Barkley, will he get paid? The Dallas Cowboys are putting all their eggs in the basket of this current group. If it doesn't work now with McCarthy and with Dak and, with all of the other pieces around there, I think that things could get blown up if it doesn't work out this season for the Dallas Cowboys. Tell me what you think. I have this sneaky suspicion that Ezekiel Elliott might end up back in Dallas.
Based on
So I was reading something that apparently them not bringing him back thing was not like, it wasn't contentious. It was almost like okay, Zeke, if you think you can get more money from someone else, we'll let you explore that market. But if it doesn't work out for you, like, we can give you money. It's just not going to be like oodles and oodles of money. And I think as we sit here now, a month and a half since he got released from there, no one's calling, I don't think. So I would not be shocked if Zeke ends up back in Dallas.
interesting.
I had heard one of my guys gave me a little insight on that. If it comes to fruition, then maybe I'll give that guy his just due. But it was kind of told to me a little bit off the record. So yeah. So apparently there's something there. It's not dead for Zeke to go back to Dallas.
Yeah, the problem, I mean, it'd be interesting to see him going back to Dallas. The problem is he stinks.
I think they
mean,
think
so,
he,
like,
yeah,
I
but
don't-
he could
I
be a
don't-
short yardage back.
He's so slow.
But if you pay him like a short yardage back, if you pay him just to get you the 2 yards when you need it, or be a red zone guy inside the 5, you could pay him for that.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could do that. I mean, there have been guys that have had that roles in the NFL. He's got to be. I mean, talk about a haircut. You would get a significant haircut if you're just going to be like, that's it. That's all you're going to do on the team. I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, if he's generated a little to no interest around the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the story at one point in time that the Jets were interested. They came out, not publicly, but behind, leaked it out that they had no interest in bringing Ezekiel Elliott aboard. He doesn't have much burst left. It'd be, if they fill that role and they bring him back to Dallas, that'd be a cool little nugget, as they would say, from your buddy. But yeah, Cowboys Giants is intriguing. I also think, Sean Payton's debut as Broncos head coach at home against the Vegas Raiders, the debut of Jimmy Garoppolo as a Raider quarterback. You look at Josh McDaniel year 2 in Vegas. What does it look like with Devontae Adams? But really specifically, what does it look like for Russell Wilson, who really looked broke last year? There's no other way to cut it. Looked old, looked slow at times, decision-making poor. No doubt that they've got weapons out there in Denver. When you look at Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, I don't know when Javonte Williams will come back. He tore more than just the ACL in his knee. He had a pretty severe knee injury last year. I feel bad for him, the former North Carolina star running back, in year 2 for him. So I don't know when you see him back, but I'm curious to see what that offense looks like for Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. With Russell Wilson, with now a new head coach, because Peyton has been able to do a lot of things with a lot of great players and even older players. Now he's got to rebuild Russell Wilson here, year 1 as Broncos head coach. I think that's a fascinating storyline this year.
Well, Russell Wilson's people, his marketing team will always tell you how good he is. And the comparisons to Drew Brees were there because of the height. Well, now you've got Drew Brees's coach as your guy. Go out and show it. By the way, the Denver Broncos, you mentioned the social media ones. The Broncos one was pretty good. It was the Bronco carrying this big, huge pot, and it falls. Did you see this one? It fell.
I did.
Yeah, it
there
fell.
Was so many. I mean, each and every team did one.
The
Titans
did the
one was
Titans
good.
one? Did you think the Titans one was that good? This one was getting critical acclaim.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought there were.
Fine.
I thought the Patriots retirement house was good.
That was
with
a good
Brady
one.
at the end.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. After a point of time, I think teams are just trying way too hard.
Well, everyone employs a social media department. It's usually a younger group of people who are trying to make their imprint on their career. Like, I respect it, but I'm with you. I did not.
I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do it, or
but
I just think it's a little. After a while, it gets now it's the NFL. People can't get enough of it. People are watching the Titans video, or the Broncos, or the Giants, or the Patriots, and they're falling over themselves because they can't wait for the NFL to be back. It was like the Mystery Room.
Ooh.
It was like it was like one of those not mystery. Yeah, like one of those things where you have to solve a mystery. Yeah, mystery room, something like that. I
No,
forgot. I mean,
the escape room.
escape room. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And when
All right.
Victor Cruz pops up, I pass.
Did he salsa? Was
No, he did not. No, he sold me some soup though.
Nice. He sold you soup.
Yeah, he used to be the face man of Campbell's Chunky Soup. You don't remember that?
I don't know.
You don't remember him being on the? He was there on this. He was there with his mom. You don't remember that? It was like
Wasn't
a
it-
commercial.
I thought Cam Newton did that.
No, I mean he might have. There's been a number of pitchmen for Campbell's Chunky Soup. He was on the bench, and then he started doing the salsa. You don't remember that?
A little bit.
Yes, he did salsa.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. That's why I said the soup thing.
All right.
Because
I
that used to be one of the faces of Campbell's Chunky Soup.
Can you salsa?
No, not like Victor Cruz.
I would like to know how to salsa.
But I also can't run like Victor Cruz could run.
Ah.
Run like the wind.
Yeah, that I can do.
Before he had that devastating knee injury against the Philadelphia Eagles, then unfortunately for him, I joke around. Victor was a great Giant.
Yeah, he had a very nice career for someone who was not much was expected of too.
Yeah, UMass.
Hey, there it
you
is.
go. There it is. Yes.
After a big day of catching New York pigskin, Victor Cruz likes kicking buffalo chicken.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
I don't know why I don't remember this.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ernie. Good job. Yes.
Yeah.
There was one where he's on the, they were wearing like nondescript. I think it was like nondescript football jerseys because and he's on and his mom's in, his mom hands him or gives him like a spoonful of soup and then he starts the salsa. You don't remember that? It was so cheesy, so terrible. God bless. They made money. I'm sure they made themselves a lot of money, but it was a terrible commercial.
I would like to be a pitchman in a commercial.
Yeah, who wouldn't be? These guys, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, that's it. If you can sell a product, you can sell a product. But yeah, I think the NFL teams give the National Football League a ton of credit. They do a great job of marketing. People are now all excited, and not all that surprising about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers being on 7 primetime games. I think the Giants are on 3. And I love people that kind of bemoan the fact, and I think Connor Hughes made a good point last night. I saw a tweet that he sent out for SNY. He covers the Jets, and Jet fans looking at the schedule and looking how daunting or how difficult the schedule is. Well, I got to be honest with you. Like if you're going to be great, then go be great.
Yeah.
Like nobody's looking at it. If you're a team that is going to be one of the teams to beat in the AFC, then the other teams are afraid to have you on their schedule. They're not going to hand it to you. They're not going to hand you a division title. You got to go out there and earn it. So I get that strength of schedule, and some schedules can look a lot different or particularly stronger based on what you did the previous year. Like we all get that based on the division you're playing that next year. All get that, understand it. And I understand sometimes the amount of road games you have during the course of a stretch, how many consecutive games before you get your bye week. There are some schedules just based on timing wise can be a little bit more favorable than others, for sure. But if I'm a great team, not saying like there are games you circle on the calendar that you can't wait to watch because they're going to be 2 great teams playing. An opening week on that Monday night game when you get Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills coming to MetLife on September 11th to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Do you know what that building is going to be like that night? I mean, that is going to be an unbelievable scene.
All right, I got some more betting stuff for you. Let's go to FanDuel here. They've got a couple of rookie market things up. So you can bet on the rookie receiving yards. All right, let me give you the odds here. Jordan Addison is the leader in the clubhouse at plus 270. We know Addison was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, number 24. Jackson Smith and Jigba out of Ohio State is going to Seattle. He's at the second shortest odds at plus 280. Quentin Johnston at plus 550 out of TCU goes to the Chargers. And then you got Zay Flowers at 10-1 odds. He's in Baltimore out of BC. Those are your top 4. Then you got Jonathan Mingo, a couple of tight ends will hop on there too. So if I give you those 4, is there anything you like more than the other?
I mean, yeah, I like Addison, but he's the betting favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, so I don't love. I wouldn't bet it at plus 260.
No, probably not. All right, so there's that, and then there's one more fun one here, and it's really totally not worth betting this, but I do think if you're just interested in being involved and you want to make a wager, they have a match bet for season passing yards: Bryce Young versus C.J. Stroud. Young at minus 122 and Stroud at minus 104. You just got to pick which one you think is going to have more passing yards this year.
That's interesting.
Yeah, probably
I don't know.
Young, right? Better team. I don't know if, but then again, it's CJ Stroud. If he plays the whole season and they're playing from behind all the time, he might just be throwing all the time.
Right. If they're just dreadful.
Yeah.
He's got
to be pretty bad.
I think it's which team has which team do you think? I think based on, if you're gonna play it out, I think the way you would look at it, would say Stroud's gonna be trailing in more games, therefore he's gonna be throwing more. Houston's gonna be worse than Carolina.
Yep, and you're getting better odds at minus 104. So if you wanted to do that, that would be something you can mess with. Some of the other things on here, obviously, there are make the playoffs. There are all different passing, rushing props.
Oh, it's great.
Props. Yeah.
NFL betting season's on.
So, all right, let's see if you can guess. Who is, oh, wow, that's an interesting one. They have most regular season QB rushing yards on here. Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Anthony Richardson, Josh Allen, and your boy, Daniel Jones. That's the top. Interesting. So
yeah, that is interesting. I don't think Jones would ever, but yes.
No, he's not. Yeah. Receiving props, not shocking. Justin Jefferson, odds on favorite to lead in receiving yardage. Although Jamar Chase not that far behind him. Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, 10-1, AJ Brown 16-1, Devontae Adams 16-1. Interesting.
How about the MVP race when you look at how deep would you go with when you look at contention? Like, would you go Geno Smith?
No. Do you have that? You have odds? What do you have? What do you have for me?
Josh Allen 7-1, Burrow 7, Mahomes 7, Herbert 9, Hurts 12, Lamar Jackson 15.
What's Aaron Rodgers?
16. Lawrence 16, Dak 16, as is Tua. Fields at 20, Watson 25, Goff 25, Love 30, Geno Smith 30. And then you get Russell Wilson at 40-1.
What did you say Trevor Lawrence was?
16.
That might be worth a dart throw. That division's bad. They're going to win 10 or 11 games. They could win 11 or 12 games. The Jacksonville Jaguars, if barring injuries, they could end up being the number one seed in the AFC. Not the best team, but just based off of who they're playing, like in their division, and the Bills are going to lose some games because of the Jets and the Dolphins being in the division, and vice versa. Ravens are in a tougher division. Trevor Lawrence might be worth a dart throw.
He might be. I think it's unbelievable odds on Jalen Hurts at 12-1. Like the two bets I'd make right now would be Hurts at 12. I'd make Rodgers at 16.
Yeah, I like Rodgers at 16.
Rodgers, like we've talked about before, motivated, refreshed, ready to go. Jets have got weapons. Offensive line is an issue. That would be the one thing where you say, well, come on, Mark. You look at that offensive line. I need to see more. That's fair. But if you see it and it's to the positive, you'll be thanking yourself for betting Aaron Rodgers at 16-1 in May to be the MVP of the league. And he's a 4-time MVP. And he's going to be, and the Jets are the biggest storyline in the National Football League going into the year. And then you look at Jalen Hurts. Like, if I'm looking at Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, and Herbert, but really specifically Allen, Burrow, and Mahomes, all at 7-1, they're all in the AFC. They can all cannibalize themselves when you're looking at the attention, the focus, and who deserves more credit. I'm not telling you that Patrick Mahomes is not the best of the bunch. He is. But is Mahomes just going to keep on ripping off one MVP after another? Jalen Hurts, before he got hurt and hurt that shoulder in the Bears game during the course of the regular season this past year, was going to be the MVP of the league. He just was. I mean, he was the betting favorite to be the MVP of the league at that point in time. Had an unbelievable season, got rewarded. Offensive line is coming back. Ground game should be just as dominant. He's going to have he's got the duo at receiver. He's got the talented tight end. There's no doubt he's the dual threat that he is in an NFC that is awful when you look at quarterback play. And it's a quarterback-driven award. An NFC where the best, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr in New Orleans, maybe Sam Darnold is the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. I'm trying to think Jared Goff with Detroit.
Jordan Love.
Justin
Fields.
I like Daniel Jones. Yeah, but Justin Fields is not going to be Bears aren't going to win.
They're not going to win enough. Exactly.
Justin Fields, I agree. But he's also got to prove. There are some people that look at him and say, yeah, he's a great runner. Let's see if he can go out there and throw in the pocket. DJ Moore should be able to help out that passing game and help out Justin Fields this year. I don't know. I think 12-1 on Jalen Hurts is insane.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good one.
Like I think that is. If you look at the MVP market in the NFL right now, he was great last year and he didn't do it with smoke and mirrors, and the NFC quarterback scenario stinks.
Yeah.
That's great odds for your quarterback, Keith.
And the NFC East is going to be tough again. So it's not like there's going to be games off for Jalen Hurts. They're not running away with the division.
No, I think the Cowboys are the biggest threat. I got to see a lot from Sam Howell to believe that Washington.
That's your boy, Sam Howell.
He's not particularly good.
I
don't know what. I shouldn't say that. I don't know what Sam Howell is.
If he ends up being great, Deutsch will get you a jersey. That's what I heard.
Will he get me a jersey?
That's what I heard. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there.
There you go.
Yeah. That's what Ernie told me.
Very nice. I'm glad to hear that. We'll come back. We're going to head out to Vegas. Welcome aboard Dave Sharapan. He'll join us as he does in his customary spot each and every Friday at 11:30. It's Moose and Keith right here on the Better Sports Network.
Better Sports Network. Collectible moments.
Everybody up here at U.S. Cellular. Sox 5 runs, 6 hits. The 2-1 to Bartlett. Swing, chop to short. Ramirez has it, throws. Bartlett picks the perfect game. His second no-hitter. People going crazy here at U.S. Cellular. He's mobbed by his teammates. A perfecto.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right out, 1 second left. What a play by Bird. Bird stole the inbounding pass. Laid it up to DJ. DJ laid it up and in. And Boston has a 1-point lead with 1 second left.
Out of the I formation on first down. Peterson to carry, looking for running room on the right side, has it to the 25, across the 30, across the 35, and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Adrian Peterson has just gone over 2,000 yards for the season, the 7th man in NFL history to cross the 2,000-yard mark.
Well, a thundering ovation for number 66, Mario Lemieux.
Just the emotion I'm sure Mario is feeling in this place. You don't appreciate something until it's gone, and it's so great to have Mario back.
Yager turns around. Over to Lemieux. Mario Lemieux, his first goal in his comeback here tonight at the Mellon Arena. And the Penguins lead 3-0, and he is smiling like a butcher's dog. Mario Lemieux.
Oh, the Bears is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. The Bears have scored, but the Bands are out on the field.
Pearson moves in front of the STP Dodge. Petty comes back to the inside. They almost touch as they move down low in the banking. They're going to be side by side as they exit the bank and head for the finish line.
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall. Petty is slamming into the wall. He's coming down toward the finish line. Will he make it? Pearson is still running. The winner is car number 21. An amazing finish. Richard Petty's car demolished in the front end, as well as car number 21. An unbelievable finish, a terrible crash. David Pearson has won the Daytona 500. Leitner catches, comes down, dribbles, shoots, scores! Christian Leitner has hit the bucket at the buzzer! Pitched by Downing, swinging, there's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
The most valuable player is Magic Johnson. 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. He starts at center, plays forward and guard, and leads the Los Angeles Lakers to a world championship 123-107 over Philadelphia.
Whether you collect sports memorabilia, fantasy championships, or winning bet slips, talk about it on Better Sports Network.
In the pocket like Burrow, when I'm back home, no, they treat me like Robert De Niro.
Oh, in the pocket like Burrow.
There you go. 7-1 if you like him to be the MVP of the league.
Did you see the cover of this Sports Illustrated story about Sauce Gardner?
I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. The Sweet Life of Sauce Gardner by Connor Orr. And it's like chocolate all over his hands.
It almost looks like blood. But yes, it is chocolate.
Well, now you just changed it.
Or it looks like barbecue sauce. I don't know. But yeah, it could be chocolate.
I think it's chocolate. And he's got the grill in.
I didn't even realize SI still did a magazine.
I mean, I honestly don't know if this is a magazine or if this is just an online thing.
I haven't seen a Sports Illustrated. When was the last time you saw an SI magazine? And I loved SI. I did.
Oh, yeah. I used to wait for those magazines to show up.
It was great. Loved it.
You were a Sports Illustrated guy? I was more of a Slam magazine guy. Loved Slam magazine.
Yeah. I was also in the way back when I was in top 30 under 30 for Sports Illustrated.
Were you really?
I was, yes.
How cool is that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have the article?
I do, yeah. It's away. It's somewhere. Yeah, it's in one of the boxes. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So for a long time ago they interviewed me and stuff like that. So yeah. That's dating myself. That was like 17 years ago. So it was crazy. But yeah, I loved SI. I loved SI in my college house up in Syracuse. I used to save each and every one of the SI magazines. Used to drive my dad crazy. They'd be in the attic and there'd be stacks of them. And I decided to take each and every one of the covers and I made a wall up at Syracuse of all the SI covers.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And it was just, it was an entire wall to the side of my bed. It was a pretty big wall too.
Yeah.
And I took it was probably like 9 years of Sports Illustrated covers and I just put them all over the wall. It was great. Loved it. I loved SI. Dave is with us. Sharapan is with us. I'm sure he was an SI fan as well. Out in Vegas. Oh, look at you, docked in, all decked out in your Orioles gear. You a huge Sports Illustrated fan growing up?
Good morning to both of you. 100% Sports Illustrated was my life every Thursday, running to the mailbox. It was the only piece of mail that I got as a child. Awesome. My parents got me a subscription when I was 7, 1977, 78. Had that subscription for 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years. Absolutely love Sports Illustrated. Was a way to take on sports outside of your hometown. Do you remember the back page? Was a lot of like used to when some writers got in there, I went backwards, started in the back and then went.
And who was the guy? Rick
Riley.
Rick Riley
was an unbelievable.
And then he went to ESPN and it was the worst decision he ever made.
Yeah.
It was like the mind of Rick Riley or something, right?
Yeah, Rick Riley.
I forget. It was something catchy like that. Yeah.
But there was a Faces in the Crowd.
Yep.
Yeah. That was, high school athletes, unknown people that you got to send in. And a kid that I played hockey against when I was 9 from Katanning, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, got in there because he scored all the goals in a game, 9 or 10 of them. And we lost. I was chasing him around, I remember. And then it was in Sports Illustrated and I was mad. I was like, wait, how did he get in Sports Illustrated? And I never got in. And now that I just heard that Moose, I mean, was in Sports Illustrated.
I was, yeah.
I mean, Moose, you were here. You just went up to here.
Wait, Dave, you were never in Sports Illustrated?
No. Only when I cut myself out and put myself on someone's picture.
All right. Well,
which may have happened. Maybe.
2/3 of the people have been in Sports Illustrated that are on this show right now.
Listen, I'm just the guy in Vegas and I'm trying my best. This is great. I mean, believe me.
So can we hear more of this 30 under 30? Because I think this is amazing, Moose. Let's just spend the next 15 minutes talking about this.
No, we don't.
I would love to hear about
what did they ask you?
No, just about my job and stuff like that when I was working with Mike and Chris.
You were a producer at this point, or you already been on air?
I was a producer.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
all right. So you're producing
the
#1 show was it America or Northeast?
the world.
Well, no, I think
The
honestly,
number one
Mike
sports
and
talk show
Mike,
in the
Mike
world.
and Mike and Chris was the best sports show that's ever happened.
No. What I mean is ratings wise, was it considered the number one in America?
Oh, they didn't. I
or-
mean, it wasn't a national show. It's just New York.
It was okay.
Yeah. So they
Well,
had
wait.
some-
I mean, in fairness, the world is New York for most of the media.
good point.
Fair. Yeah.
This is
So, but
everything
it wasn't.
circles and
Yeah, it
centers
wasn't
around New York. So
right. I mean, they
for
were
those of us that
simulcast.
have been on the outside of New York, looking in,
That's
just
right.
peeking in over the fence, hoping to
Dave,
get
we're
in
the
that
best. Let's be honest, Dave. Come on.
Oh well. You guys tell yourselves that all the time. I understand. When you listen to the echo chamber, you are the best.
That's it. You're right about that.
I
Dave,
want to hear
why
more
are you
about this
decked out
wall,
in
Moose.
What's that?
I want to hear more about this wall. Is there a picture?
I
of
do.
This
I
wall?
have picture. I have a picture. multiple pictures. So yeah, it was.
I fully.
I was
expect
really
at some
honestly like
point
I was
today,
really proud of it, and people that used to come into my room would be like, "That's amazing." It was.
I
awesome.
want a picture.
I'll
of
send
that
you a
wall.
picture. And I used to. You know what was great about that wall was this.
Was that wall good with the ladies?
I was about to say, I doubt
mean,
that was a
seriously,
chick
like,
magnet.
what
I'm
did
sorry.
the ladies say when you brought them back? Just
They were
to hang
okay
out?
with it. They were okay, but like by the time you like, hopefully they're into you before you get into the room. Like you're not looking for the room to impress them, are you?
But it could turn it sideways the wrong way.
It could. I mean, like
It could be a.
No.
You know what? I got a class early in the morning.
I gotta
you're
go.
right. That's fair.
I gotta
That's
go.
fair.
Yeah.
It was you know what was great about the wall was this is that you look at certain pictures or certain covers and it bring you right back to that. Like I remember there was a cover of, and I'll never forget this. There was SI had a cover of the battle for Los Angeles, and it was Rodney Peete was the USC quarterback, and Troy Aikman was the UCLA quarterback.
I still have that. Yeah.
And it is and it was just the pictures in there, the photography for Sports Illustrated then was just second to none. It was it was unbelievable photography, but it just takes you back to those times. Like there were times when I was going through it and I go up to my dad's attic and there'd be boxes and boxes of Sports Illustrateds and be able to kind of like thumb through them and look at the dates, and it'd take you right back to the time when in your life, when you were a kid or whatever it might be of what you were going through at that time and everything like that. It was just, it kind of, I get all mushy with those kind of things, but that's why I used to love looking at the wall, come back, tough class, whatever it might be. Maybe I didn't do necessarily great. And I looked at it, one of the covers, and I'd be like, oh, that was that was an awesome time, or that was a great series, or what a performance that was by Magic or Michael or whatever it might be. It was awesome.
Can we get that as adults? Like in what we do, I mean, in KI, you're so engrossed in content and different shows and different sports. Moose, you're all over the place and all this stuff. Can we get that feeling back? I still get it. And I don't want to ever lose it, that excitement, that memory, that thing when I watch a game or when I see a clip of something. Like the Pirates are in Baltimore this weekend, and I can't stop thinking about the 1979 World Series. And I went back and looked at the games and how it went and all this other stuff. Ki, can you still get that juice, that feeling from sports?
Yeah. Moose earlier today we were talking about the Knicks and how I was saying that I like this team. I don't love this team this year. And that I tend to like teams that are, either perfect or closer to perfect. And then he brought up the 94 Knicks and how they fell short. But like that still was a team that I love. Like they were right there. And Starks hits one more shot. Because I was 13 at the time, whatever it was, we would have won a championship. I can say we when I'm 13 or 14 years old. Like, yeah, I think I can still get that. And now I think all three of us see it through our children's eyes now.
It's the
like,
best.
Like I know that, like that's part of the reason why I know Moose picks on me all the time for this Lakers stuff. But Austin and Alex like the Lakers a lot because they like LeBron. I like LeBron too. I find myself rooting for the Lakers all the time now because I want my kids to enjoy watching the team that they like right now.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And it, I mean, you can save them the angst and misery of rooting for the Knicks in that regard.
That's what one of
the Lakers.
Dude, that's one of my buddies has a kid, and I it bothers me to no end. So he grew up. Greg is his name. He's actually a traffic reporter. So he grew up a Mets fan. His dad was a Mets fan. Grandpa was a Mets fan. Blah 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 blah. Right. All he does all the time is complain about the Mets and how much he hates the Mets and how they ruin his life. He's got a little son right now, right? And he says that his son, Seth, is going to be a Mets fan. I go, dude, but like, let me ask you a question. Like, could you just let him choose a team when he gets into sports? He goes, no, he needs to know the misery of being a Mets fan like me. I'm like, why does that make sense?
Doesn't.
Like, if he chooses the team.
Let your kids root for whoever the hell they want to root for.
Right. Like, Moose, your kids didn't choose all your teams.
No, I don't.
Jackson chose an opposite team of yours.
Yeah, I chose the Eagles. Yeah, I don't care. I don't. If they want to be Met fans, I don't care. Like, go root for the Mets. Like,
I would prefer my kids not to be Boston fans.
I'll support you.
Right.
I'm from New York.
Right. It'd be hard. It'd be hard to do that. But yeah, go out there and support it. That's all. Support your kids.
Support your
Dave,
kids.
Could you imagine being a parent being like, I want my kid to know the misery of what I've gone through? Come on.
Oh, that's like, you remember pledging? Did you guys pledge a fraternity?
I didn't.
I did
or
not,
haze
no.
a team, like
No.
when you were the young guy on a team, and like, oh, we have to.
Dave
do
is
this.
the one who showed no mercy when you were.
What's that?
When you were hazing somebody, did you show no mercy?
I was the best fraternity brother you could be. Guys would come in. We had to do an interview with every brother.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Never. I tried to hand back my pledge pin 3 times.
What's that on your? Is that a pledge pin?
Yes. I said to them 3 times, here, take it. I don't want it. I don't need it. They're like, no, wait. I mean, I played shortstop on the fraternity softball team, all this other. They're like, no, hold on. I said, why would you guys do this? Like, stupid things.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense. So why would you put your kids
Well,
through the
yeah, I
misery
would never like
of
I agree with you.
aggravation?
No, well,
being a
not just
fan?
that, but I have to prove myself that I'm worthy of being in your
Never.
fraternity by
Never.
No.
You
no,
were
I
in the
did not.
30 under 30, and I mean, come
That-
on.
That was
What are you
post-
talking?
If I was
prove anything.
28 in college, there would have been other issues.
I need a picture of
I would have been
at
Chris Wenke
Syracuse
or
with that wall.
Yes, exactly.
That's what
yeah.
I need.
The chick magnet was the SI wall. No doubt
Where
about
is
it.
that wall
Yeah,
now?
like-
Like, what happened with all the stuff on the wall? What'd you do?
Oh, I threw it all away.
All the covers, all the pictures.
Oh, it was
are
up for like
gone.
2 years. They were.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can we read?
I lived in the
Let's
same house
redo
for
it,
2
man.
years.
You should redo it.
Well, I don't. I think I.
You don't think
unfortunately-
Donna would give you a basement wall?
No, not
There's
with
no
that.
chance. There's
There's
zero
no-
chance.
It's
of
over.
that.
Thank
I
you.
don't
Dave.
even know.
Thank you for
Donna.
backing me up. There's no
I could. The basement's mine now.
There's no way. Like
Nah,
there's
nothing is yours. Let's be
no
honest.
nothing.
No, that's
No.
I listen. If Jody was watching right
What do you
now,
mean? I'm
she,
giving.
would-
I'm
she would
giving
agree.
I'm giving $40 a week.
I have
Spend it wisely.
I
You're
have
asking
one
me to
room in
take-
this house.
You're asking me to take over a wall. There's no way.
No.
Guys, I got one room in the house. The basement's mine. I can do whatever with the basement I want.
Keep believing that.
Yeah, keep believing.
Putting up a wall pictures. Go ahead.
Lou and Linda, my parents, you love them, right?
I
They're
do.
watching right now.
Happy Mother's Day ahead
Hap-
of time to,
yes,
to
happy
Linda
Mother's
and all
Day
the
to everybody,
mothers that may
yes.
be watching. It's a big weekend
Yes.
here
It
at the
is.
house. Yeah, for sure.
So, Mom and Dad, if you guys are watching right now, we got 12 minutes left, so
Right.
hopefully you are watching. Text me, and then I will read your text. Is the basement mine in my house? Do I have one room in the house? Because these guys don't believe that I
Text
actually have a
Jody.
room.
I mean, I appreciate Lou and Linda. Text Jody and ask the question.
I'm gonna
Okay?
text Jody
Let's
right
go
now. Go
right to
ahead.
the
You guys
boss.
just
Please.
have your
Are
conversation.
you doing? What are you doing for your wife for Mother's Day, Dave?
It's a tricky situation here because my mom is in Arizona and I want to go down and see my mom, but my wife is here and can't go down to Arizona. So I don't know yet exactly how this is all going to work. I might be doing some 4-hour driving each way in the same day just to, I mean,
That's
it's
fine. You got to go see your mom.
have to. I think I do. Something's
Yeah.
telling me I do. And I'm letting a higher power guide
Yeah,
me in a lot of
don't-
these decisions and a lot of these things in life right now. Just in the content space, you guys see what's going on. I had the pleasure of going over and touring the DraftKings facility here in
Yeah, that
Las
was
Vegas
cool.
this week. It was great. Sitting in a risk room. You're talking about the room downstairs is yours. The risk room is such a unique place. They have a whole risk floor. It's the entire like fourth floor of their building is guys sitting in front of screens doing what I used to do. And I thought, a couple different thoughts. I was happy to see them and I was happy to leave to come be able to do shows like this. Again, it just reminded me that I'm blessed to just have these opportunities. And then it's just again, it's an interesting weekend. My mother-in-law lives here. The mother of my 3 daughters is here. You got to try to balance all these things. It's very, very hard. There might be there's a game 7 Sunday, Sixers, Celtics.
Yeah.
Who's going to win that game?
Yeah.
Who's going to win that game? Come on.
Celtics.
Shame. I agree.
Yeah.
It's
I think the Sixers
had
squandered their opportunity.
They squandered their opportunity.
What about tonight? What about tonight? When you look at Knicks Heat, Scott Foster is going to be the lead official. His nickname is, Keith was asking me before, I don't know why, but his nickname is the Extender. So to see if he extends the series.
So this is an extender? They're trying to get this thing back to the MLB?
Right. That's what people on social media call Scott Foster, the Extender. But what do you think? Miami, New York tonight?
I like Miami. I like the game under. I mean, it's rinse and repeat for me, but I'm kind of rooting against New York just because it's kind of fun to do this time. I don't hate New York, but it's fun to root against them because you guys get so excited about stuff only when you're winning.
But wouldn't it be better if the Knicks win so that now the next series you can continue rooting against the Knicks and the Knicks fans would be that much more hyped and it would hurt them so much more? No, I feel like that would be fun for a non-Knick fan.
I know for the book, we always rooted for more games. So just root for another game.
Heard you say that.
So there's another game. So I could see that, but I just don't see them winning.
No, me neither.
I don't. I really don't.
How about Warriors-Lakers tonight?
I like Golden State.
I'm with you.
I'm not rooting against the Lakers like specifically, but I just think I don't know if something gets figured out in the middle of a series or whatever, but like that was game 5 gave me all I needed to know. It will take another Herculean effort by somebody on the bench, which can happen. It does happen in playoffs. Somebody steps up like Austin Reeves or Lonnie. What was his name? Lonnie
Walker the fourth.
Lonnie Walker. Yeah.
He came up big in the fourth quarter. Lonnie Walker the fourth.
Amazing. So that can happen. And if that happens, the Lakers will win. And then they're going to lose to the Nuggets.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I sell my ticket. If the Lakers win tonight, do I sell my Western Conference ticket tomorrow? Do I cash out?
Well, you don't do anything today because if they win today, you get another round, right? Okay. They win today and they clinched. I mean, they closed the series and then we're going to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Now you're really live,
right?
But you might have to bet on Denver. We'll look at the things.
Okay.
Hockey, real quick, boys. I mean, Carolina.
Yeah.
You said it. You talked a lot about them. You did.
Yeah, we might have some tickets on them. That was a good thing. Close that series out. We didn't buy Devils. We didn't buy Bruins. So those worked out okay.
Who'd you buy out west?
I got the 4 remaining teams out west.
All with Carolina.
Multiple. Yeah, I have all of them with Carolina. Yes,
that's great.
I have all of them with Carolina. So we're set.
Do you have anything with the Panthers?
I had to after they beat Boston.
Okay.
I got the Panther scenarios. Now, can Toronto win tonight? Can Toronto win tonight?
Yeah.
It's so Toronto, right?
Imagine Toronto comes back from 3-0 down to beat Florida.
Just to get to game 7, Moose.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
They're going to win tonight. I think Toronto's winning tonight.
Yeah.
It's so Toronto Maple Leafs, though, for them to win and then go home and lose tonight. Like, it would be fun, again, to extend it. Game of the night's in Edmonton and in Vegas, here in town.
2 suspensions.
Efforting at the end of that game was wonderful. Hockey justice, I call it. But you have to do the suspensions. Peter Angelo definitely slashed Draisaitl to try to hurt him. Just like Adam Graves slashed Mario Lemieux back in the series in 1990. Still mad about that, Moose. That one still was personal.
Well, and then there was one on by Alexei Kovalev, I think, on was it on Joe Sakic, and when they were taking on the Quebec Nordiques.
Those teams, those names, those uniforms.
Oh, the Nordiques the Nordiques uniform was amazing.
I have one of them.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful.
I have one. It's a Joe Sakic jersey, actually. I was looking for a Peter Stastny.
Oh,
I took what I could get. It was one of the only ones I could find. But yeah, the Quebec Nordiques was one of my all-time favorites.
So, Dave, as an odds maker as you are tonight, Keith and myself, we're in the Sportscasters Derby at the Meadowlands.
So what is this thing?
So
I
pretty
would
cool,
have
right?
been there.
Half
Had I
mile
known
race.
about this,
Half
I
mile
would have
race.
been there.
Half-mile race.
You're running?
No. We're on a.
You're in a sulky?
A two-person sulky.
Uh-huh.
It's called like a cart. I forget. Two-person cart behind the horse.
You're
Yeah,
in the sulky?
we're in it.
Yeah, but a driver's
I've
driving
dreamt
it. We're
about
just
being in
sitting
a
there.
sulky.
Yeah.
Irizarry, have you ever been in a sulky?
No. I'm so excited.
I am so upset that I was not given prior notice to you two doing this, because I would be sitting right there filming it all, I would be interviewing each of you as you got in the sulky to commemorate this huge event.
Yeah. And it's all for charity too.
I love it.
Yep.
I would have flown back. I would have been there.
All right. So here in our race, there's two different races, right? So we're in the second one after the fifth race tonight at the Meadowlands. It's myself, Keith, Willie Colon, Maria Marino. As an odds maker as you are, Maria, okay.
Maria.
Okay. What
She's
would you
the
place
favorite.
the odds of Maria as? 2-1?
I mean, I have no prior.
She won last year.
She won last year.
She's the favorite.
Okay. Second choice.
Irizarry.
Okay. Third choice.
The other guy.
Willie Colon.
And I'm the long shot.
I mean, I'm just saying, although you've been in the sulky before, you might
I've
actually
won,
know
And
yes,
that.
Willie's a
victorious.
replacement. It was supposed to be Wally Zerbiak.
How
but
big
Wally
is Willie?
Willie's about 300 pounds.
Okay, let's readjust the odds.
That's what
then
I was
right now.
surprised by you
Okay.
doing that. Yes.
All right. I didn't know how big Willie was. All
Willie
right,
was an
so Willie's
offensive
the long
lineman.
shot.
Yeah.
Willie is the long shot.
Okay.
All right. So now we just bumped everything up. All right. So now a readjustment of the odds before we actually put them out to the public. Maria, top choice. Right behind her, experienced sulky driver, Mark Malusis, is now the second co-favorite, just underneath.
Wow.
Then it's Irizarry, not far behind, because Irizarry's in his mediums and he's still in good shape. And KI is a type A. He's probably been watching videos and doing stuff at night.
I know which way to lean. I was looking how to lean.
See, I know that. So
Yeah.
you're right there. And then poor Willie, I mean, he's one of those choices, Moose. You know, when you go to the track and you see 50-1 and you know it
He's
might be the
50-1.
last race ever.
Now,
for that
Willie's
horse.
a Super Bowl champ. So he's got a Super Bowl
And
championship.
he's a
None of that
Hofstra guy.
matters.
Be careful what you say. He's a Hofstra guy.
He is. I want one of us two
I'm not
Hofstra
saying
guys
he's a
to
bad
win.
guy. I'm saying he's a bad jockey. He got no shot against the three of you. None.
And do you want to know the name of my horse?
I do.
Virginia Slims with a Z. That's legit.
That's pretty cool.
And
Moose, what's your
David,
horse's name?
my driver is David Miller.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good driver.
I don't even know what the name of my horse was.
I know yours was
Moose is not taking
Pasta
this.
Lentica.
Oh, Pasta Lentica. Okay. I've got Todd McCarthy.
Todd McCarthy. I've got
Another
David
good
Miller.
driver at the
I think
Meadowlands.
he's Australian.
Maria's got Scott Zarin, and her horse's name is I think it's Too Cute.
I think Scott Zarin's the best.
No,
driver.
Super Cute.
What
Scott Zarin.
time approximately will this be
About
happening so
7:50
I
tonight.
can be at the
You could-
sportsbook watch?
You can watch it. They'll air it on if you watch the Meadowlands feed, they'll air it. Ken Workington will be doing the call, the voice of the Meadowlands.
What race is it after?
The fifth
5.
race.
You
A couple years ago, when
changed the plans.
we used to do
for
a
my
mile.
night.
We used to do an entire lap. Now we only do. Well, last year we only did a half mile. Maybe we'll go back to a mile. But
Moose, is it bumpy? Is it a bumpy ride?
you have a little dirt kicking your face. They give you some goggles.
Ooh.
It's great. It's great. You feel
Do you
the
flip
speed.
the goggles, Moose?
No, I don't flip the goggles. No, it's not a muddy track.
What if it rains tonight?
It's very condensed dirt. So you're not like, it's not like you're Jerry Bailey coming.
He
from
told
out
me
of the
I'm not
clouds.
going to get that dirty.
I'm concerned. You're not going to get that dirty. They give you like a little.
Yeah.
I think they give you a windbreaker that'll have your name on it, or have your who you're donating money to.
So excited!
I was going to wear my white on white Air Force Ones for this.
Don't do that.
I would not do that.
Jody said those are easily cleaned.
No,
so that's why I should go white on
no,
white.
No.
You're gonna go white jeans too?
No.
What are we going to Miami?
Not Memorial Day yet. You gotta wait till after Memorial Day to wear the white. Does that rule still apply? That's what they tell me.
Moose, we have to decide about are we wearing polos or long sleeves? We got to go uniform. Right? Yeah, like, we gotta look the same.
I hope
Laying
Moose
out
gets
his-
there on time
He's
at this
texting me
point.
like 11 o'clock. I'm like, what are you laying out your outfit
I was.
tomorrow?
I
You
had to lay out my
understand?
outfit. Yeah.
This is what this guy does. He's
It is.
very, very regimented,
I am.
oriented, cares about every little
I do.
detail.
Dave,
I got
have
a
a
path.
great weekend. We're out.
I'm watching a race.
You better
See you
be.
Monday at 10, everybody.